How has the evolution of culture promoted the spread of ethnocentrism? Ethnocentrism is when people within one culture use their internal beliefs and values to evaluate others. This can often be seen as invalid because using one's beliefs to evaluate another set of beliefs can be very biased. This can perhaps invoke negative feelings towards certain cultures. Practicing ethnocentrism can lead to all other ethnicities being seen as inferior. This can be seen when cultures believe they are the best and overpower other cultures instead of embracing them. Culture has come a long way from its origins. It seems to be evolving in such a way that suggests in the future there may be one culture for the entire world that all people follow and be a part of. There are two main types of culture: those who overpower others and those who embrace others. These two have one key difference. One likes the way their culture is and will accept new people, but not change their ideas or behaviors. The other culture is more open to change and allows others to influence them and change their shared environment. Cultures that promote ethnocentrism believe that they are better than others because they use their own views and values to evaluate others. These cultures tend to want to overpower others instead of having a new culture integrated into theirs. Those cultures that promote ethnocentrism can be described as a melting pot, where people from everywhere can come together into one culture, heavily influenced by the original culture. The United States is a good example of an ethnocentric culture. Americans tend to take in foreign people and make them follow American culture. Over time, this has evolved into seeing others as lesser and therefore not worthy of having a place in their American culture. Toronto is recognized as one of the most multicultural cities in the world. This city is so successful because of its many programs which seek to have everyone accept all cultures through understanding and mutual respect. A spokesperson for the cultural section of Toronto City Hall provided information that contained many different programs that the City of Toronto has to promote cultural development in their city. Programs like this have developed over time because of a need for new people to be accepted and welcome to Toronto. These programs have decreased ethnocentrism as everyone benefits equally from these programs. One of these programs is Toronto providing access to city services for undocumented Torontonians. This program exists to help those who are in any stage of becoming Canadian access city services without being scared of getting in trouble. This allows people from everywhere to feel safe as themselves. People from all over the world trying to become Canadian can reasonably expect their privacy and safety in terms of being themselves. Without this program, people from abroad may want to forget their roots and just try to blend into those around them. This is not how Canada has been built, and it has evolved to allow people from all cultures to add to the Toronto culture. Toronto shows that Canada is a good example of a country where all cultures can be themselves without fear of judgment or being threatened to assimilate with others. The City of Toronto has programs that help refugees from other cultures come into Canada and find people they can feel safe around. These programs include interpreter programs, mental health services, affordable housing services, and referral to other cultural services. These programs can make people from all over the world, be it refugees or casual visitors, feel accepted and as if they can grow their own culture in Toronto as opposed to having to start somewhere totally foreign to them. This could include speaking their own language or eating their own food. Cultural support programs promote the idea that Canada is a mixed culture where people can continue to grow instead of starting totally over in a new space. Toronto and Canada as a whole can be compared to a tossed salad, as it is easy to see all the different parts representing cultures. All those parts have a common trait of being in the salad together, representing Canada as a whole. American culture can be described as a melting pot. Those entering the US often feel most comfortable conforming to American ideals as opposed to being the way they originally were. This can be great for people that don't have a strong connection to their prior culture and want to feel as if they belong to something new. The opposite side of this is when people have a strong connection to their roots and don't want to lessen their commitment to their culture but have to in order to fit in. The melting pot is the opposite of the tossed salad previously mentioned. These cultures are the two main types of culture that have developed over time. They both have their benefits and potential drawbacks. The melting pot has evolved from a need to feel unity and a patriotic need to feel as one big culture. The culture is known as being very accepting of people, given they give the effort to speak English and conform to a typical American look and value. In September of 2010, France banned wearing anything in public that covers the face. This bill wanted to improve public identification and help Muslim women feel less oppressed by their culture. This bill can be seen as encroaching on personal freedoms, though. This could be seen as a melting pot move because the government is actively trying to make everyone look similar and act similar all over the country. Making people that wear a burqa or niqab not wear them could lead to all people that go to France being melted into the form of one French person. This bill was examined by the United Nations and found to have a negative effect on the people most vulnerable to the bill. This shows that a melting pot can have positives, but in this case can impede on certain groups and make them feel very marginalized and uncomfortable. The trend of societies becoming more secluded and specialized has promoted an ethnocentric view for many cultures. Ethnocentrism is when one culture views another using the values and beliefs held in their own culture. Ethnocentrism has been made more prominent over time as certain societies become more exclusive and less accepting to surrounding people. Cultures such as American or French culture have become very ethnocentric and possibly unappealing towards others around them. This ethnocentricity has come from centuries of being more and more exclusive and only accepting certain kind of people into your culture. This thesis is solidified by cities such as Toronto, where the general attitude is very accepting. This culture of accepting everyone and being open to new ideas and new cultures has seen the decline of ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism thrives when cultures become exclusive and steadfast in their beliefs. The everlasting need to belong to more and more exclusive cultures and subcultures over time have promoted ethnocentrism. Cultures that believe in ethnocentrism are more likely to force other cultures to meld into theirs, which is supported by the trends seen in the world today of certain cultures being absorbed but not respected by other cultures. Cultures evolved into such a way where there are two main types of cultures: those who melt everything into one main culture, and those who are made up of smaller cultures. The cultures that melt everyone into one certain citizen tend to believe that they are the ideal culture, and that comes from ethnocentrism. It is important that we take notice of cultures that are melting pots and those that are tossed salads, so we can make an informed decision about where and why we want to live in a certain place. Melting pots have promoted the spread of ethnocentrism, but some people believe that ethnocentrism is a good way to live and give something to believe in. Tossed salads can promote diversity by having many different cultures present at one time. There is no perfect way to live, and having these two kinds of living separated by ethnocentrism shows us that.